it's just not sort of physical fitness that the Army are really interested in. It's actually physical stamina. And the way you get physical stamina is through having mental stamina as well. And don't worry if you haven't got it now. You know, the military, you know, train recruits to make sure that they have got it. And I certainly remember when I was a boy soldier, every week we used to have a thing called company training, and it used to be 3 days a week would be out in the field doing all the, you know, all the training, digging trenches and ambushes and all that sort of stuff infantry soldiers had to learn. And the training area where we went, we all used to get in these big trucks and drive off to the training area to do the training. But actually everybody had to speed march back. It's called a tabbing. So you would have all your belt kit and your ammunition, you'd have your rucksack, your Bergen on, your weapon, your helmet, and every time we had to tab in. It used to take about 3 hours to basically tab, and it was a speed march as a rifle platoon. And that's where the physical stamina comes in. Not only the physical part, but the mental part, because you know the training sergeants used to continuously say, we're all part of a team. So if there was a guy that was struggling, for instance, he couldn't carry his Bergen, people would have to take the Bergen and share it amongst the rest of the platoon, because everybody had to stay together to get from one point to another. So it didn't matter if this guy was carrying less kit, because what he's going to do next week is make sure he does carry his Bergen, because his mates have helped him. And it was all about helping your mates to keep together to get where you needed to be. The only thing that every junior soldier had to carry, if the rest of the kit was being split amongst the platoon to get back to camp, was his weapon. Because if you join in the infantry, you're a rifleman. So if you haven't got your rifle with you, that means you're not doing your job. So the only thing sometimes, certainly in the early days when I was a boy soldier, where some people were finding it difficult, the only thing they would have to carry is their rifle. And then everybody would stop about a half mile from the camp. Anybody that was straggling, and they would be really desperate now to keep up with the platoon, because they're their mates, and their mates are carrying their kit, and that's what give them this physical stamina to go on, because they didn't want to let down their mates. What we'd do, everybody would stop half a mile before we entered the camp. All the kit would be given back to the junior soldiers, and everybody would then go in, double in, speed march in through the camp together, because it didn't matter where you were in that physical and mental stamina level. The idea was to make sure that at the end of that year's training, everybody was the same. They was all part of the team. Everybody was using, you know, mentally and physically doing the best they can to come in together. And it works, because within sort of 6 or 7 months, everybody was carrying their own kit. Everybody was carrying their own rifles. Everybody stayed together.